Well, as gas prices go up, so does the desire for electric vehicles. You see, humans don't gravitate towards change without pain, without being pushed. As an example, in 2008, when gas prices were similar, especially if you adjust them for inflation, I went from driving a cargo van to a small Jeep Compass because I wanted to save money on fuel with regards to my daily commute. But if gas prices were low, I probably wouldn't have changed my car. And humans, before the Industrial Revolution, they were riding horses. And after the Industrial Revolution, the combustible engine and having cars on the street, it took a while to gravitate towards that. And now we're in an energy revolution, where we're going to sustainable energy. Energy that can be renewed, not just sucked out of the ground. Because there's only so much oil in the ground. Some people estimate another 50 or 100 years worth of oil. Some people say you can't tell. But most scientists, most even businessmen and women will tell you that oil is not an infinite resource. There's only so much you can suck from the earth. And so there's a need for renewable energy, even if you take out the climate change factor, if that is a factor. Some people debate that. But if you just look at energy, there's a need to have renewable, sustainable energy. Remember, people only tend to think in their lifetime. And in your lifetime, you're used to always seeing combustible engines. You're used to seeing a modern society. But the Industrial Revolution is maybe 100, 200 years old. Really, it's only in the 1900s that cars became a normal in society, and mainly towards the middle of the 1900s, 1940 through 1970. And now, less than 100 years later, it's an oddity if you know someone that doesn't drive a car or have a car. It's an oddity if they don't have a car, if they don't do Uber. Cars are normal. In the future, electric cars, maybe something even different will be the normal. It's hard for you to visualize that when you only know what you've seen. But it's coming, a different way to use energy. And the thing that's going to push you is high gas prices, just like it pushed me in 2008. And I would say, look at the numbers too. The average person commutes 30 miles per day. The average combustible engine car gets about 30 miles per gallon. That means you spend about 1 gallon of gas per day. So if gas prices were $5 per gallon and you had the average commute, you spend about $5 per day. If there's 30 days in a month, 5 times 30, that's $150 per month you spend in gas. Now, if you're an electrical vehicle, there's some like hybrid electric plug-ins, such as the Kia Niro plug-in, that run off electric and gas as a bridge till you get to all electric. Even though there are some all electric vehicles too. But that gets about 100 miles per gallon. So it all depends, there's a lot of ways, to get more efficient. So, but if you had the average combustible engine, and you get 30 miles per gallon, and you drive 30 miles per day, that's $5 a day. 5 times 30, 30 days in a month, that's $150 a month. And if gas doubled and it went to $10, then you spend $300 per month. Look at your average commute. Now, when you have an electric car, you're still paying per kilowatt hour. There are some free charging stations, but most charging stations cost a fee. If you plug in at your house, that causes your electric bill to go up a little bit. It's still cheaper than gas on average. But we're getting to the point where now, when it's time for you to get a new car, you're either going to get a hybrid or an electric, and eventually all you're going to get is an electric. I would say in the next 10 to 20 years, that's a reality, not a fantasy. You already see it. You already see more Tesla charging stations. You already see more hybrids on the road. You already hear the engine of an electric vehicle where it doesn't make a lot of noise. It just like it hums like a golf cart. And you look at the car, you say, what's that? That's a hybrid. That's a hybrid electric. The days of a car going, vroom, 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 those are over. Sorry, psychopaths. I know. You're going to hold on to your gas engine car until you die. And that's why it does take a generation to change. It'll probably take another 40, 50 years, a whole generation to pass off, including mine. I'll be towards life expectancy at that point. But the people who are just being born now, when they get their driver's license, they're not going to have the option to buy a gasoline car. They're going to be driving an electric car. Probably not even going to have a hybrid around. You're going to have a straight electric. And so that's how society changes. And is it time for you to get an electrical car? Well, maybe not yet. Okay. And maybe not in your generation. If you're watching this and you're understanding this, you're an adult. You may not ever get one. But most adults, if you're middle-aged, you're probably going to get at least a hybrid, if not a hybrid electric. And the people just being born now, they're not even going to know a combustible engine, a gas car. Probably not even going to be around. There'll be antiques maybe in a museum. And it'll go the way of the dinosaur. Okay. Just an exhibit in a museum that no one pays attention to. Hopefully this video helped. If it did, click that thumbs up. You want to support the channel, click that blue join button. Share the video, leave a comment below. Show up, show up, show up. Why? Because if you don't show up, someone takes your spot. And if someone takes your spot, then you're more depressed, you're more broke. Okay? And then you got to figure out how to survive. And all you had to do was show up, keep your mouth shut, or just show up and smile, just like this. Okay, yeah, that's fine. And then if you show up, smile, and put a little bit of effort, you're moving up. Now, you're moving on up to the east side? Well, it all depends. But if you are, you're probably going to go in an electric car. Thank you for watching. Or an electric subway. They're coming too. I don't, something like that. Oh, are subways already electric? I don't know. All right, I'll see you next one.